Hello and good morning, team. Happy Monday. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. It is the last day of July, headed into August. That means back to school for some people, for the kids, for eldest children going off to school as well. So, congratulations to you all. You made it through the summer, but I'm excited to connect with you for a little bit today to talk about motivation, right? To talk about how you stay motivated on this journey and kind of give some language to some of the things you might be feeling across the spectrum of this journey. So give me a few minutes, maybe less than five, to chat it up with you about motivation. And I'll let you go and into a wonderful new month and excited to see what progress we make. Okay, sharing my screen. We need to talk about motivation because we think we'll always be high. We think motivation will always be high. We'll think we'll always be optimistic. We'll think we'll always have control and everything will always be going super well. But I wanted to kind of give this graph and some type of language to what we might be feeling when your motivation drops. Okay. This is actually a thing. So let's talk about it. When we first start, right? When we get on our first call and maybe in those first, I'd say the first two, maybe 3 weeks of working together, you are really excited about what we're doing. You're optimistic. You can see the plan. You can see how all the things are going to work out and the timeline. And oh, she said, if I can do this for these many weeks, and I'll hit this goal in these many weeks, and I know exactly what I need to do. And I have my eating guide and I have my recipes and I know how to track my food and everything's feeling great. I know I can get in contact with her. I got this awesome group. You're excited and optimistic for almost 21 days. But at the 22nd day for most people, that optimism starts to decrease because you're realizing that the thing that you were feeling so excited and optimistic about is actually going to require some work, right? You realize that even though I had the information, I didn't know everything that it was going to take to get to this goal. And now that I know everything or most of everything it might take to get to this goal, quite sure I have what it takes to finish this journey. Geez, I'm looking at what I need to do. And there's the step goal that I have to hit every day. And it's not just 1 week that I think about my food. I have to think about food every week. And then now she's adding in this resistance training program. And I really pressed her out about it. Like I really told her I was ready to get into the gym, but she wrote my program 2 weeks ago and I still haven't been. Dang, I don't know if I can be successful with this. And as you have day 22 up until maybe your second month, right? If you don't find yourself out of this hole, you will have reached something called the valley of despair. Hopefully, this isn't new information to you. The valley of despair is that lowest point, right? Where you hit rock bottom, you haven't tracked a meal, you're not communicating with me, you've disappeared from the face of the planet. What's happening? Right? That's why I keep reaching out, I keep extending my hand, but you've disappeared from the face of the planet. You don't care about hitting your step goal anymore. You haven't had any water. Your sleep has gone to trash. This is called the valley of despair because you realize right here in phase two that this was going to take some work that maybe you did or didn't have. Okay. Let me give you one more visual. Down here, I love this visual because this exactly expresses what many of you are experiencing. Okay. We first schedule our call, you're anxious. You get off the phone, you're excited. But then you get started and you might be a little bit nervous, right? You might be afraid. You realize that there are things in your life that are going to require addressing and change and facing, right? And now you're feeling threatened or even guilty about this stuff, right? Sometimes you might get to a place in this valley of despair where you're even depressed, right? Or you're upset with me. You're upset with the process. You're upset that you thought you could do this again. You're upset that, gosh, I'm giving this lady all this money, or I said this was my last time. I said I was going to do this, right? You hit the valley of despair and you have a choice. You can stay in this demotivated, right, low point. You can choose to stay here. You can choose to be defeated by the process. You can choose to be upset with your coaching. You can choose to withdraw yourself entirely from the experience, right? Or you can choose to gradually, slowly, step by step, reintroduce those things that you felt threatened by and that you felt guilty you couldn't be consistent with. You can start to walk your way back up, okay? So what is it? When we talk about that bare minimum level of consistency, right? What is your worst day plan? We've talked about that. What can you still commit to doing on your very worst day? For some people, it's okay, I'm gonna hit my 6,000 steps today. For some people, it's I just need to stay hydrated today. For some people, this week I can get to the gym once, coach, I have one, right? So what is it that you can do to pull yourself out of that demotivated state to start making momentum back up this hill? We are all going to hit this place in the valley of despair, all of us. If you are not currently there, you've been there, right? And if you're up here, you're going to get there. But when you get there, I want you to realize that you have a choice. Stay here for a couple of days. Sure, be upset, be mad, be hostile, be depressed, be angry, feel guilty, beat down on yourself. Do that for 48 hours. And after that 48 hours is up, I want you, I'm asking you, and I'm expecting you to find that minimum level of consistency, that minimum level of commitment that you can bring back into your life as you start to climb this ladder again. And as you start to add step by step, my steps back in, my activity back in, my food logging back in, my food habits back in, better quality of food, better sleep. Right now, this train is starting to move, and you're starting to accept that this is something that I'm going to have to spend extended time, potentially the rest of my life thinking about. This is who I am. I am now somebody who wakes up and takes my walk. I am now somebody who plans out when I'm going to get to the gym in my work week. I am now somebody who, even if I have to travel for work, I know exactly the restaurants that I can go to and not feel guilty about the choices I have to make. I know exactly my relationship to alcohol. Okay. And now, as you have started to accept that these lifestyle changes are what we're aiming for, right? The progress and all that stuff is a distraction from what actually gets you the progress. And the progress is the consistency in your lifestyle. Okay. Now that you have built up this momentum and you're starting to allow this to be who you are, now you're making progress to the goal. You can choose to get stuck down here in the valley of despair. You can choose to get stuck down here in guilt and shame and anger, right? Or you can choose to know what it's going to take and be optimistic that you have what it takes to do what it's going to take. You have what it takes. We all do. Okay. So now, as you realize you have what it takes, you're finally feeling successful. And we have some stories, not just me. We have stories in this group of people who have made it out of this valley of despair. We have stories of women who have seen rock bottom on this journey and who have still decided to see the other end. We have stories of people who are here right now and needed this message. We have stories of people who are here right now. And with this being week 1 or week 2 for you, you're going to reach a place where you're like, I don't know, coach. I want you to know that I know this is coming. But I want you to know that I am coaching you from here. I am coaching you from the end. I'm coaching you from the version of you who can receive that I know, and you know too, that this can be done. Okay. I'm speaking to the person who's at the end of this journey. Okay. We can stay here in Valley of Despair for 48 hours, like we said. We're going to find ourselves back up here with success. All right. This is your Monday message. I hope it was helpful for you. I want to hear from you. Right. So leave a comment underneath this video. Let me know what you think about this idea around motivation and how we actually see ourselves out of a motivation slump. We're going to give it new language, a new idea, and refresh our minds when it comes to what we can do when we hit that point, because we all will. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful week. Let me know if you need anything, and I will chat with you this week. See you soon.